The woke Disney show The Acolyte from Lucasfilm sucks. And Disney doesn't want you to know that. So welcome back to Views with Hughes, Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes. And we're going to go ahead and get right deeper into this whole debacle with The Acolyte. All right. So basically, in a recent article that was released from Variety and everything, they stated that The Acolyte has actually reached 4.8 million views in one day, the biggest Disney Plus launch in 2024. But here's the problem with that. You know, there's some issues with this kind of claim. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So basically, here we go again. Okay. Woke Disney is trying to pull a fast one. And even Deadline Magazine had to point out how Woke Disney's own streaming numbers don't add up in the matter of, you know, basically in a wild way. Okay. But this time, Variety Magazine, as I showed you all, was reporting that The Acolyte hit 4.8 million views in one day, and they claim it's the biggest woke Disney Plus launch of 2024. Now, The Acolyte is the latest woke Star Wars series in the woke Disney Plus, and woke Disney claims that it got 4.8 million views on its first day. Now, of course, Woke Disney is saying that this is their biggest series premiere of 2024 so far. Now, if we look back at Ahsoka, which was the most recent woke Star Wars series in 2023, Woke Disney actually reported it took 5 days to reach 14 million views. Now, that means Ahsoka averaged about 2.8 million viewers per day over those 5 days. So if The Acolyte really got 4.8 million views in just one day, that's 2 million more than Ahsoka's daily average. But here's where it gets really interesting, it gets quite confusing. See, Woke Disney counts a view by dividing the total numbers watched by the runtime of the show. Okay, but there's a few things that has to be understood about these numbers. First off, The Acolyte actually premiered with 2 episodes, okay? So there are those 4.8 million views right there accounted for just the first episode, or are they just combining the views for both episodes? Not sure. Seems a lot like the latter to me. But Woke Disney didn't even specify about that, which makes it hard to know exactly what these numbers mean. But at the same time, it's no surprise for these moves from Woke Disney. Now, another thing to consider is that where we get these views, where are they coming from? Where are these views coming from? Exactly, okay? So Woke Disney didn't tell us about the 4.8 million views that they're from the US or international markets or a combination of both. Now, this lack of detail also makes it hard to understand the full picture. Now, Woke Disney might come out and give more details about these numbers, but if history is any, guide, or if we can, if history repeats itself, what we have now is probably all we're getting, okay? And Walt Disney has a history of giving us the bare minimum when it comes to transparency with their data on viewership, okay? So basically, Walt Disney's claiming a big win with The Acolyte, but there are a lot of questions about how they're counting these views and where they're actually coming from. Now, without more details, it's also hard to take these numbers at face value. All right. Now, when Woke Disney Plus talks about their shows like The Acolyte or Ahsoka, they're counting views from all over the world, not just in the US, but they're counting it domestically. And they've almost got 150 million subscribers worldwide. So when they say The Acolyte got watched by 4.8 million people in its first day, that's less than 3% of all their subscribers. Unlike Nielsen or even Samba TV, they don't even break it down by US viewers either. All right. So in the article that I showed y'all, it's basically talking about the sentence where it says The Acolyte, Woke Disney Plus's newest Star Wars series, reached 4.8 million views on its first day of availability. This marks the streamer's biggest series premiere of 2024 thus far, according to Woke Disney. Now, when I was mentioning the article, that did sound impressive, but if you think about it, what other big shows have premiered on Woke Disney Plus since January 1st, 2024? Well, there's actually been one, which is Echo. Other stuff, even like X-Men 97, doesn't really count because they didn't do well or they were just minor shows. So beating these low performance shows isn't much to brag about. But basically, with hardly anything else coming out on Woke Disney Plus like 9 days, are we really going to celebrate this? Can they celebrate this at all? I highly doubt it. Now, basically, when woke Disney Plus brags about how many people watched it, they're counting everyone around the world. Now, they have nearly 150 million subscribers, like I said, but if you do the math, that's, like I said before, it's less than 3% of those subscribers actually watch the show. Okay, but here's the crazy part. You know, even though woke Disney says the Acolyte got 4.8 million views on its first day and stuff, they're claiming that's the biggest premiere on the day. But you know what? There's not many other things that's actually premiering on the streaming platform itself. But House of the Dragon season 2 is premiering about a week and a half from now. I bring this up because of the fact that House of Dragon, like the Acolyte, is a big budget show, around $200 million, give or take. But let's see where the real viewership looks like for a massive hit like that. Now, back in 2022, the first episode of House of Dragon aired, and it was a huge hit right out the gate. And it pulled in a whopping 10 million viewers. Okay, so to put that in perspective, that's double the number of viewers that woke Disney claimed for their new show, The Acolyte. But there's more to it, actually. That same night, House of Dragon had nearly 10 million viewers tuning in on cable and HBO Max in the US alone. So just in the US, House of Dragon had twice as many viewers as The Acolyte. All right. Now, woke Disney has been saying that The Acolyte got 4.8 million views and stuff globally in the first 24 hours. But let's compare that to the House of Dragon, which got 10 million viewers in just the US within a few hours on a Sunday night. And here's the kicker. Usually, any HBO show Sunday night audience is about 20 to 40% of its total viewers. So to put that in, so that $10 million, 10 million viewers for the House of Dragon actually ballooned up to around 25 to 30 million by the end of the week, just in the US alone. While woke Disney over here is just bragging about their 4.8 million views and stuff, which, by the way, is counted for a longer period of time and includes real viewers from all over the world. But most shows, especially on streaming services like woke Disney Plus, get the bulk of their views within the first 24 to 48 hours. But with all the bad reviews and audience reactions the Acolyte is getting, and it's clear people aren't really impressed. So just so you know, the audience score from Rotten Tomatoes and stuff actually reached below 30%. And if you don't believe me, you can take a look for yourself. It's at 26% and stuff at this timing of this recording. Okay, so if you don't believe me, there it is right there. Okay, so it's sitting at 29% right now, and critics seem to think that they, have people think that they love it because it's all about diversity and inclusion, but regular folks think that the show is terrible. The writing is bad, the pacing is slow, poor direction, as well as bad acting that's flat as a board. Now, the story itself is just plain boring, by the way. And even publications like Rolling Stone, which usually supports woke Disney, are saying the same thing. All right. But even given all this, I honestly don't think that the Acolyte will even come close to the 14 million global views that Ahsoka got in its first few days. And let's be honest, those numbers aren't that impressive, to be honestly, and considering that woke Disney spends on these shows. Now, sure, 4.8 million views might be okay for a low budget show, but the Acolyte just costs around $200 million to make. And on top of that, they probably spent around another $50 to $100 million in promoting it and marketing. And basically, it's a woke Star Wars related show. And those 4.8 million views in the last day are really disappointing. I mean, not last day, the first day. They're really disappointing. Now, House of Dragon completely outperformed the Acolyte in every way. Okay, it had a massive viewership in the US alone, which grew significantly over the week, while the Acolyte struggled to gain traction globally despite woke Disney's heavy investment in it. Now, the poor reviews and negative audience reactions only add to its problems, making it hard to see how it can recover and achieve the success that woke Disney was hoping for. So, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have with this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead and smash the like button and share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.